to grow as a grower? Are you tired of being put to sleep by your educational growcasts? Are you tired of hearing about products you don't fucking want and can't afford? Hi, I'm Johnny Apple, and joining me is everyone's favorite amphibian, the Reverend Pirate Frog. Join us as we sift through the bullshit on the internet and try to get better as growers. This is your average grow.
Oh shit. Hey dude.
Hey man, so I know he probably everybody from the title know he's here already, but he's kind of a superstar on another podcast. But I'd love and you switched your screen off. That's so fucking funny. Shit. We welcomed a fucking buddy Badger to fucking join us, man.
Finally, Badger, after many attempts and giving up, and then several people dying, mostly on my end, so my apologies there. But you're finally here, so thanks, man.
Oh, what's up? What's going on, fellas?
No, man. So we know you've had quite a few cameos on crafting, and I think there's quite a bit of crossover with our audience, and maybe some of them people would really like to get to fucking know you. So I thought we would have you on a fucking average ass podcast and maybe ask you a few questions and maybe get to know the Badger fucking story, man.
What makes the hash hole tick?
You fucking hashhole. No, man. So I think a lot of people already know you're like the fucking like a real hash head, but like what got you started in cannabis? Like what really led you to the plant? Like what steered you to it in general? What's your starting relationship with it?
Oh, fucking cannabis itself. I don't know. I was a child, just a rebellious frickin' skater kid, hated, home life, drinking and smoking, and I mean that's how it started.
So it's just out of pure rebellion. It wasn't like a necessary like a call to it. It was just like, fuck yeah, man. Fuck this. Everybody says it's bad, and I don't want to fucking believe them.
No, because I knew that, as a child there was, people around me that, smoked cannabis. So, I remember seeing my first pack of zigzags when I was a little tiny kid. Like, what the heck are these? Who's this cool dude on the front or whatever? So it was around just, or I guess, growing next to my sandbox when I was real little, there was a couple, plants growing. Of course, I didn't know what the heck they were, or whatever, or plants hanging in the attic or the upstairs or something. It's like,
yeah, like hindsight type shit.
Yeah.
Didn't
It's
know
like
any better at the time.
I had no clue at that time. And then just, eventually, teen angst, I was skateboarding and drinking and smoking cigarettes, and then, some weed came around. It's like, fuck yeah,
Why not?
All right. Yeah, exactly. So,
what was crazy though was these skateboards were before the wheel.
What's that? Our skateboards were before the wheel?
Yeah, how'd you skate with those square pegs?
No, they weren't square, they were octagon.
Every other round.
Tetrahydrochlorogen.
That's an attempt at a word.
Super geometry.
As long as
back then, when before the pyramids were built.
The alien technology.
I mean, this was the early 80s, so yeah.
Hey, that's when I was born.
Sweet.
No. So, all right. Obviously,
hopefully
even at a young age, you fucking developed a relationship like, okay, this isn't scary. This isn't what fucking Reagan's making it be back in that fucking era, right?
No, this was 1984.
That's exactly the year I was born.
Yeah.
I turned 40 soon. I don't know why I did the
taken after your homeboy JT, right?
What's this, a dab?
I don't know, dude. You're
I don't
asking
Yeah,
the
know.
that's
wrong dude.
yeah, that's a
I
dad.
have a kid. Yeah, exactly. Kids did it. My fucking kids did it when what was that, Fortnite? Jesus Christ. Anyways,
Is this our
so
attempt at being hip?
I God no. Yeah, I don't want to relate to those kids for sure. Their kids are trying to cancel Eminem these fucking days. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
That dude
that's impossible.
doesn't say shit. I fucking was like, wow, he filtered himself. Anywho,
I mean, he
so
drops a new album
obviously,
in another week or something.
you didn't believe what they had to say. So right, so your path fucking changed.
Yeah,
Or not your path. You didn't believe what they had to say. So from your first time consumption, what led you to now you're a grower, you're a huge hash maker. What's your transition like? How did you fucking go from that young, naive, fucking rebellious kid to fucking just showing us the most beautiful fucking ball of hash I have ever seen in my entire life?
Yeah. Now you're just an old rebellious grower.
So I think specifically, I'll narrow it down so that it's less of a thinker. So specifically, how do you go from developing a taste for the rebellious fucking flower to a hash head? Like,
I moved
what makes
overseas.
hash? Like, so move. Oh, there you go. So overseas, and you developed a different. They
I mean,
consume it differently.
back when I first went overseas in '91, you couldn't find flour. Like there was only a couple of spots, that you could even find flour.
No shit. All right.
Like if we wanted flour, we'd have to, take a train all the way up to Amsterdam. Like we did that like every 6 months for a little flour run, just so we could take a break from smoking all the hash because it was all hash.
No shit. All right. So now, after developing that taste, that's your preferred fucking consumption, is it not?
Hash, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, but you don't diminish the power of the flour. Wow, that
No,
was
no,
fucking beautiful.
I still
So
smoke
still
flour.
consume flour. Okay. So you
I
don't
still
take
smoke
like
flour.
of your entire consumption, you're not taking all of or not consumption, Jesus, of your entire harvest. You don't take all of it and put it to fucking potential hash. You put it some of it to flour for joints and what have you as well.
Usually if I'm running a new cultivar, I'll take one or two tops and I'll dry and cure them as flour, and then the rest of the plant will get sifted.
All right.
Right on.
So, talk about your grow style. Do you grow completely indoors? You grow completely outdoors? Do you mix it both? Do you just fucking wing it? Talk about your garden in general. Walk us through it.
I grow both indoor and outdoor. I
Okay.
totally just wing it. I grow in soil, re-amended soil. I've been using this soil for shit 3, 4 years now.
No
Right
shit.
on.
So, what do you re-amend with?
A little handful of this, a little handful of that, some of this, some of
Totally wing it then.
that. Totally wing it.
Whatever
All
he
right.
has on hand, yeah. I
Right.
Fuck
think
yeah, dude.
you've used lobster compost in the past, I think, right? Or something similar. I think we were talking about when you were re-amending, getting ready for the jet fueled outdoors, right?
Not no, not lo no, not
Oh,
lobster compost. I recently for the past year I've been trying this new compost from somebody local here.
uh-huh.
They take like food scraps from the city and they compost it with they do like a mushroom compost with it,
Okay.
and then they take that compost and turn it and pelletize it. It almost looks like turtle food when they're done with it.
Oh,
And it takes a little while to break down. Like a good, I don't know. Like it starts breaking down immediately, but it's probably, I don't know, a good month or like if you sprinkled it on the
yeah.
top, it would take
It's not
probably
gonna
a
go
good
direct.
month of watering, before it's all broken down.
That's really
And
cool.
but I've been adding a bunch of that in there, and I haven't seen any problems with it.
Do you use any sort of like minerals and uh nutrients other than just compost? You add any
I
like I don't know, like craft blend, for example, or like some 444 or anything like
no,
that,
I
or
do.
just the
I
compost?
do. Depending if I'm growing photos or autos, I do occasional top dressed with oh, what is it? Green Grow or Grow Green, whatever the fucking Pride Lands stuff, dry amendments.
Okay. So some dry amendments alongside of that compost.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
top
just the
dress.
compost.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, no, it's not just that compost. I'll also run teas. Like tomorrow, Jet Fuel's getting a bat guano and worm compost tea.
Oh, tell us about that, dude. That sounds beautiful. What
Oh,
was your recipe for that?
And that jet fuel is beautiful, by the way.
Oh, so
How big is
yeah.
that fucker now?
she's over 7 foot tall, at least 6 foot wide.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
And she's in a beautifully placed, like, is that 2x2 by fucking like 4 foot tall 2x4 planter you built there?
No, I think it's how tall is it? It's under 3 feet tall.
Okay, so like 2x2
Probably
by
probably about
32.
30 inches. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Now stable at the bottom so winds aren't blowing that thing over, because dude, my fucking winds the other day got so fucking bad around here. My outdoor hella jelly, like where her stem meets the ground is now like doing donuts. There's like a fucking volcano looking fucking hole around the base of this plant, because the wind was just whipping
Oh,
this
yeah.
bitch around, and she's peanut butter jelly with a sandwich on the side or whatever the fuck. It was like,
Right. My
god
milkshake
damn.
brings all the boys to the yard.
Exactly. That's what she was doing in the wind. So I was just curious, like, how is your fucking with that
No, the
planter
the
being
the
higher up and
the bottom row of the planter, because it's all made out of 2x4s that came out of the house next door when they
yeah.
remodeled it. The bottom row, the legs extend like a good freaking 6 to 8 inches beyond the box.
Nice. So that helps with
So,
Nice.
but yeah, it's pretty stable. Plus,
wind.
it's heavy. It's heavy as heck. It's like 25 gallons of soil in there.
Fuck yeah. There
It's
it
heavy.
is.
Give it
That's
some
the key.
stability. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's beautiful. I know that Jay is finishing up a flowering a cut
Indoor run, right?
now indoor, and then
Yeah.
you've given quite a few cuts away. I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but they've all been beautiful that I've seen so far. So I'm really excited to watch her in her flower here.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
Now,
amazing.
the one Jay saw is flowering right now came from the plant that I have outdoors.
Hell yeah.
And the two that I just finished trimming yesterday, they also were cuts from the outdoor.
By the way, shout out
But
Jay. That plant was amazing.
oh, that
He did
plant's
a very
awesome.
good job.
For his first photo and first scrog, oh, it looks
Yeah.
amazing. Holy crap.
Oh,
beautiful.
hell yeah.
You'd
He's
Absolutely.
never know it
fantastic.
was a first.
And his
Yeah.
Odinson before that was amazing. It's
Hmm.
been kicking ass, dude.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
tell us more about this jet fuel. Where did it come from, man? How long have you
Originally,
had it?
originally, it came from Ruder Allister. Um, Hash Bash 2023, he gave a couple of us cuts of it, and then so a few of us grew it and flowered it out. I ended up keeping cuts of it, and then
So
some.
obviously it's something special if you're fucking keeping it around then.
Oh yeah, it's something special. It's stupid but freaking sticky. Uh, I mean, it's not big giant colas. It's more like like say more golf ballish or more smaller bud structure,
Mm-hmm.
but they are like rocks. They are solid hard. Very frosty, very sticky. It's a very good plant. And then some unfortunate accidents happened, and Rudy lost his cut. So luckily at Hash Bash this year, 2024, was able to give him another cut back, and some other people some cuts.
Fuck yeah, dude.
But yeah, she's a
Fuck
special
yeah.
plant.
So what's the terpene profiles on it then? So jet fuel, I'm assuming strawberries.
Why
No,
the
it's not.
hell would you assume
It's not
strawberries? I gotta
fruity at
know.
all. But honestly, I
It
can't
was
even tell you.
sarcasm.
I know.
Only
I,
thing I can't even tell you what the terpene profile is. You know,
I
I
would.
got
I literally imagine gas with a name like jet fuel. I imagine just some sort of fucking fuel, like it smells like you're standing behind a fucking jet engine.
Brilliant. Where'd you get the jet
only
engine
terpenes I can think
idea
of
from?
right now is what I'm burning.
And is that jet fuel?
No, this is a cigarette with a big old worm of Super Sun God in the middle.
Oh, Super
Uh,
Sun God.
tobacco cigarette.
Tobacco that I got from Rudy, shredded by him.
All right,
It's
that's
good
amazing.
tobacco.
He grew them leaves himself too, right?
No, he ordered them as
Okay,
whole
okay.
leaves and then shredded them himself.
Yeah, he's got some sort of website or something that he uses and he orders from too. I thought he
Yeah,
thought he
when we
grown
were at
some as
Hash
well.
Bash, when we were at Hash
Stir
Bash,
freakers. Some.
yeah, I can't remember the
Okay.
name of it. When we were at Hash Bash, TN Genetics took one of the leaves, the tobacco leaves, and to roll a blunt up with, instead of using a blunt wrap or whatever, he used one of
Uh-huh.
the tobacco leaves from Rudy. Best blunt I've ever had in my life.
No
You couldn't
shit,
taste
dude.
tobacco at all.
No shit. That's fucking amazing.
So
How
That is.
people
many
that
of
are,
you ended up meeting up at Hash Bash?
I don't
Super
know.
jealous that it's so far away. You don't know? I take it you weren't there.
I don't know. It's a
It's quite a few, right?
fuck. I don't know. Yeah, a lot.
That's good enough. I guess we'll take that answer.
It gets bigger each year.
That's amazing. One of these days, Johnny and I will make it. I think arguably he's a lot closer, so he should go first. But that's just between me and him.
It's one of
That's
the
off the air issue. Just
supposedly
kidding.
it's like one of the oldest consecutive running cannabis gatherings
Is that
Oh,
right? No
cool.
shit.
in the
That's
country.
How
fucking
far? How far away is that from where you are? It's not too far, right?
25 minutes.
Ah,
no
see, that's
shit.
nice. Right in your
Now,
backyard.
see,
That's cool.
didn't you have like a fucking big fucking hoo ha this winter, and you made a bunch of fucking hash with a bunch of fucking guys from around the community?
No, one guy came up and made some hash for a weekend or a week, whatever.
Okay,
But
I thought you
I
had like
mean,
a fucking group of like I swear to God it was like you were did like a fucking instruction seminar from what the fuck I was paying attention to.
yeah, people want to come up here in the wintertime during processing season for sure.
Walk us through that. Why specifically the winter time?
Because you need to work in cold conditions, a cold environment.
So all right,
Because the heads are
I'm
super sticky.
I have
The heads are
never
super
made
sticky.
right. So by cooling the heads down, all right, talk me through it because I am an imbecile as far as making hash. I know nothing, man. I have grown plants for a few years now, and I've been smoking flower ever since. When I smoke hash, it's literally like scraping it off the fucking scissors that I fucking trimmed it with, or taking some fucking keef and then rolling it in my fucking hands and warming it up and fucking. I've got something that I call hash. I don't. That's as best as I get. I would call it farmer hash at best. Uh,
Yeah, it's
so how does a pro do it?
well, I don't know what pro means, but pros definitely
Expert.
do it
How does
different.
an expert
Pros
like
definitely
yourself?
do it differently than me.
How does Badger do it?
Yeah.
Pros do it
How do
differently than
fucking real
a
people
small
do it? Not
scale,
people doing it for money. Exactly. How do
a
real people
fucking
do it?
small scale craft
How?
only
Oh,
for
all right.
yourself.
Yeah. How do true hash heads do it? Not fucking professionals. How do hash heads really do it?
I do it. There's two ways. I can dry sift, which I'll do if I have a pregnant plant. If I'm doing a seed run, a seed increase on some some genetics and she's pregnant, then I'll end up dry sifting her. And I mean, and that's a process in itself, extremely cold conditions, different screen sizes to
So
to separate material, and then eventually
that's why you're
static
waiting for
check.
the wintertime, because you can't like just dry sift in the middle of fucking summer, because
No, because the
all
heads
it's
are all
gonna do is
sticky.
that they're just gonna fucking it's like making a bowl of lettuce. It's not gonna really, nothing's gonna fall out. You need those heads to be cold to fall through the screens.
Yes, and to
Okay.
not stick to the other material, because dry sifting is a really dirty process. You end up with a lot of material the same size, a lot of plant material the same sizes as the head. So then, you have to go through the whole static removal process after dry sifting
Right.
to clean it up. But if I only time I dry sift is if I have a pregnant plant, because I hate dry sifting. But the rest of the
So
time it's
why
in
would you
water,
do that? Why would you do that specifically with a pregnant plant?
because the other option is in water, where you put the whole plant inside water
Yeah.
and use water to agitate to separate the heads. And you don't want to do that with a plant full of seeds, because then those seeds are, you know, you don't want to pre-soak your seeds.
Oh, so you're talking like a usable plant, not like a plant that was pregnant on accident. You want to see. Okay, I got you.
Right, right, right.
So it's for
We don't we don't we don't
different
have accidents
circumstances.
over here,
You're
Johnny.
not trying to like you're saving the seeds for
What's
yourself,
an
and I got
accidental
it.
seed?
We don't have accidents over here.
Hey, listen. Since Amelia became a thing, probably back in the fucking 80s, and since then, it's been the greatest thing humans have developed. Is fucking flour without goddamn seeds in it. Now, I argue that watermelons without seeds in it suck, so maybe we need to stop fucking growing plants without seed in it, except for one specific plant.
Well,
No.
we can
No.
also, if we really, 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 really want to get scientific, we can argue that Canada's plants with seeds, you know, can be extraordinary, because there's you end up with different things. If the plant's busy making seeds, you end up with different profiles, different.
Is that true? Really?
I don't know. There's been talk about it.
I imagine that's probably pretty easy to prove. Like, I mean, at least naively, not necessarily prove, but what's the word they call it? Anecdotally prove. Like, if you had your own plant and you fucking consumed it before she'd ever been fucking pregnant, and then fucking knock her up and then consume some of the flour after that.
I love how gracefully you put that in this scientific test when you're knocking her up. I think the issue with that, I think the best issue, you would just do a chemical like analysis on it, because if you grow the two different seeds, you're gonna get so much variety that very likely to get a good enough.
Who in
test.
the fuck has a chemistry kit to prove that around?
I mean, there's also the idea of that.
You don't keep one in your car at all times, Johnny? What the fuck? I thought we were friends.
I mean, there's
I have a PhD on staff for my shop. I just call him up. I'm like, hey, test this shit. I'm just kidding.
That was the most howling answer I've ever heard from you.
I know.
I'm so proud at the
my-
moment. We're all
I don't have
ruining each other equally.
When I get
I've
kicked out
heard-
of my apartment for no payment because I followed Howling's fucking chain. What happened? Oh, I bought a light that Howling recommended. That's why we're homeless now. Anywho, sorry, Badger. We shouldn't pull you into our anti-Howling talk. You speak so highly of him.
Uh-huh. There's also people that say, I don't know, maybe it's bro science, who knows, maybe it's just something I fucking read somewhere. That if you have a male in the area, the female can smell it, and she's gonna, pump out even more heads to try to collect that pollen, because she knows there's a male in the area. Is that true? I don't fucking
Interesting.
know.
Dude,
I
that
don't
wouldn't
know.
surprise me. With as much as they're learning about how little we know about plants, it would not surprise me. Like, they're literally showing us that plants are smarter than we fucking think they are. Like they're actually
Yeah.
communicating
Yeah,
on a
they
level that we
communicate.
don't even fucking understand. So we
Think
are
think
so
about
fucking
this.
naive.
Yeah.
Think about this. They can't move, right? So how as a species, how do you take over the planet if you don't move? Well, you get the mammals and the animals to move you for you.
Yeah.
That's fucking. Oh my god.
Well, you think
Sorry,
about it
we're
this
gonna.
way. So it's hyper local
Yeah.
to where I am in Southern California, but there's the Joshua tree, right? Which the Joshua tree spread by the giant sloth eating its fruit and then shitting out the seed. Like I said, super scientific, shitting out the seed through in new places. Well, the giant sloth ain't around anymore. So the range of the Joshua tree is shrinking as everything dies out because it doesn't have the fucking only thing that it evolved to be able to eat and move. So it's the exact same way, man. You got it. It moves by getting like
That's
birds and shit.
that's
There's a
No, a
word
lot
for
no
of
it that
joke,
I'm
dude.
forgetting, of course, right now.
I was on the fucking phone with my uncle earlier this fucking season, and I was like walking him through my garden and shit, and I get my black raspberry tree, my wild black raspberries is in the back fucking yard. I am literally walking around the front of my house and I'm like looking at all the overgrown like weeds and shit that like got planted. Now, this was on a bed of like plastic with mulch over top of it so that I could like walk to my front door. But there's plants like planted throughout. So everything that's in the mulch planted has been like accidentally dropped there or dropped that through nature. There was literally a black raspberry vine in my mulch in the front yard. As I'm on the phone with him, I'm like, dude, you're not going to fucking believe this. There's a black raspberry vine in my front yard. He's like, no, the fuck, there's not. Those things vine from stretching. How the fuck would that get there? I think, how the fuck do you think it got there? The goddamn birds who fucking rob me every goddamn year came around and fucking shit it out in my front yard. How the fuck else? Look at all the black walnuts around the whole fucking property too. I cannot get rid of the fucking black walnut tree in my fucking property. The goddamn fucking things are everywhere. The chipmunks, the squirrels, they fucking take and they bury them. And then there's fucking black walnut trees growing in every fucking corner of every fucking piece of goddamn land I have. It's like, you motherfucker, I am gonna fucking kill every goddamn squirrel, every goddamn fucking seed hustling motherfucker. Quit. You want to save this shit? Save it somewhere else, motherfucker. Not on my goddamn sick of the black walnut tree. But
when
that's how nature works, man. It's crazy. They literally, you are so right. They make us do it for them.
when
That's
I
the
when I
smartest
when I
fucking thing, bro.
repurposed or reclaimed my pots that I used for outside last year, because I grow in pots because I don't have a spot where I can grow on the ground. But when I reclaimed my pots, there was all kinds of walnuts and all buried in them. It's like goddamn squirrels.
Dude, it's so bad too because you have to get rid of every bit of it. The roots is what's the most toxic in that fucking tree, and it's everywhere. There's so many plants that are sensitive to it that it's incredible. Like peppers, tomatoes, those specifically are super sensitive to it. Obviously, fucking wild black raspberries aren't because they love it. They're right next to the fucking biggest one I had in the yard. That's the one that came down on a whim in February. But seriously, I'm literally pulling black walnut trees out of my raised beds from these fucking things. Every time there's a walnut or a fucking, it's incredible, man. It's a fucking invasive weed, if you ask me. Yes, it makes beautiful fucking furniture. It does not make good fucking planting soil conditions. It doesn't.
It's those squirrels, man. I fucking hate them. And out here in my neighborhood, they don't have any predators, right?
Dude, your squirrels
It's
are the size of our rabbits.
Yeah, dude, they're huge.
Yes.
They destroy gardens when they're vengeful, man. They sit in the
It's
tree and fuck
insane.
with Captain. It's hilariously sad.
I hate it's insane.
I need Angus.
Badger,
That's what we need.
talk to us about your indoor fucking setup. How do you fucking grow indoors?
I have a tent in my living room, a tent in my bedroom.
And then you growing photos, autos? Are you keeping moms? What's your setup like?
Well, right now the only thing I have is a couple moms going. I just started some new photo seeds, but I'll do photos and autos.
Okay. So you
Autos with the moms, photos, in their own tent.
You
awesome.
grow with you're on
Yeah.
team BGG, so I'm sure he has you test a lot of fun stuff.
Oh, you're a
One of the
tester
ones
for BGG?
Yeah.
No shit. I actually did not fucking know that. How naive.
One of the ones that I wanted to talk about was that you were talking about the Super Sun God hash. That's one of your, would you say one of your favorite plants that you've grown and made hash from, or just recently, or
It's definitely
because I've heard stories, I'll say.
it's definitely up there. It's definitely up there.
Right on. How long did you age that?
This this was made the winter of 2022, 2023.
Wow. Right
So,
on.
and then I cracked it open this year in April.
That's some
How
supreme
do
patience.
you maintain such fucking patience? That's like you've got all right. I can imagine developing such patience because you've probably banked it up for maybe a year's worth. Right? So you're excited about what you've got. So you've got so much time to spend with that, but then how much supply do you have to have that level of fucking patience to wait that amount of fucking time?
Lots.
How do you get to such a level?
Um, Grow lots.
Okay.
It's very scientific.
Yield.
Yield more. Yeah.
Yield more. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I still have
Yield and patience.
I still have a halfway decent sized ball of Odin Sun's hash from like shit 2021.
Dude, I can't keep
Gee,
enough
I don't.
fucking flour around the goddamn house to I'm literally like, I can't wait to fucking harvest tangy. I cannot wait as I can't. Now I do
Speaking
have
of
some
which, guess what I'm
frozen shit.
smoking, Johnny?
Tangy wedding.
Regular tangy, bro. The F3 that's
What,
coming out
F3?
in August.
Fuck yeah, dude. Talk
Our
about
buddy
it.
Badgers smoked some of his the rosin that Jay pressed, right?
Yeah, for sure. I smoked a lot of it.
You a big fan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great
Is
stuff.
there a
from the
dryer
crate.
running in the background?
That or someone's playing drums.
Fireworks.
Fireworks. You got fireworks going on in the background?
Oh, fireworks, gunshots, whatever.
America, bro.
Detroit.
It does. It sounds like somebody's has a, from my perspective, like somebody's got a pair of fucking sneakers in the dryer. Anywho,
That's funny.
America. So, indoors, how do you keep your moms then? You must trim the shit out of them. You keep feeding the stems and the leaves and shit back to the plant immediately. Do you compost them? How do you keep your moms? I'm genuinely curious because I've got 2 at the moment and I just fucking hawk them motherfuckers back to like nothing.
Oh, I keep them I'll keep them in a solo cup as long as possible.
So you
Until
genuinely just stress them the fuck out until it's time, and then you just spend the time to get them healthy enough to take cuts and run.
yeah, I'll just keep them in
Okay.
a solo cup as possible until they get too tall or something like that, and it's like, all right, I'll throw them up into a 1 gallon, let them branch out a little bit, and then I'll take cuts, and then
Start again.
out the door you go.
Okay, yeah.
Once
That's
I
kind
have
of that's
once I have some
kind
good
of the
rooted
approach I
cuts,
take is like as
she
long as
go.
I know something's around, like I just
Mhm.
had to do that with my my hella jelly. The fucking spider mites took that fucking tent and they consumed it, man. I was sick of fighting it. I had to finally be like, all right, enough. Hack the shit down and like completely wash the tent down and fucking spray and clean and just get rid of that. But the only thing that gave me confidence was knowing there's just at least a solo cup of this bitch somewhere. And that's it, man. These things just, they last. You could fucking demolish a plant, and as long as there's just a little bit of faith, don't give up on them, man. Don't. And I saw that specifically with my apple dragon. That thing was like, with all my with all my electrical issues that I had fucking going on, I had this little tiny one apple dragon plant of the 4 I was trying to determine whether I wanted to fucking even keep these things around. It was the only thing that survived in a tent. I didn't even open for like 7 or 8 days. And when I finally did, it was like, holy shit, this thing didn't completely die. There's a little bit of green on it. So I just stuck it in the fucking bed with the heligilly that I was genuinely trying to heal from all this bullshit. And that thing actually fucking raged too. But then the spider mites just took them both. And I was sick of fucking fighting them. So I just ripped them both up by the roots and fed them to the chickens. It's
last
but
last fall, one of the jet fuel moms that I had, she was only in a 1 gallon, and she was, I don't know, at least 4 foot tall by then. You know, mainly just a straight stick after taking all the cuts off her. But
right.
So it was time to throw her away, but instead of throwing her away, I just threw her outside. I didn't water her or nothing. She was beyond root bound. She was laying down. She wasn't even standing straight up, just laying down. She got snowed on a couple times. I mean, the thing just wouldn't die. I mean, she laid there on the ground and just thrived for a couple months, even, snow and everything. It's like, all right.
It's incredible the resiliency that the fucking photo period of this version of cannabis sativa actually has. I had a male do the same thing. I had a male in the fucking compost pile last year. Like this fucking, like I had threw a bunch of fucking rotten potatoes and pine, and just this fucking pile of shit I threw in my yard last year. And I threw this fucking accidental male on top of it and just like started covering up. I didn't cover it all up. And the next thing I know, there's fucking, he's like trying to grow up. I was like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking asshole. I was like, holy shit, man. It was incredible. Like, fucking bark from all around the property. It was like just this pile of shit I had to rake up and put into a pile, and this motherfucker's still trying to live. Yeah, I had about enough of fucking fearing the cannabis plant at that point. Like, this thing is so goddamn resilient. You can pretty much do anything to it. You just have to.
It is a weed for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. You do have to learn harvest rate. Like, you can only have so much because I just learned that. Like, I've had so much like it'll fucking work itself out in the end. I've got enough fucking, and then all of a sudden, like, then you go fucking 3-4 weeks without electricity and you're fucking behind by 2 months. Realistically, like,
that will tend to do it though.
Exactly. Like, balance. I hate it.
Always balance, my friend.
So, but that did learn
that did learn itself indeed.
It gave me an opportunity to learn that my electricity bill is high and it's going to be high, so might as well run these motherfucking tents to full capacity all the time. I'm sick of fucking like beating around the bush and not fucking filling it up like I can wait. It's like, nah, full on electricity bills high, fill these fucking tents and grow. I've been kind of putting it off and blah blah blah. But I've taken the same fucking approach with my outdoor shit too. So
well, we don't want to get too much into what you've got going outdoors because I want to have a whole conversation on that, and we have a guest. But no, the approach of the doing more with what you have, especially in your tent, if you're paying a high electric bill, is definitely something that we should encourage, because you're paying for literally every fucking square inch. Make it worthwhile.
Mm-hmm. It's the only conclusion I can come up with.
Yeah, unless you're not paying very much for electricity, then fuck it. It doesn't matter. But you and I both live in states that like to add tax to fucking everything.
So Badger, talk to us about that fucking electronic rig you were just fucking puffing on there.
Still smoking on.
It's a Carta 2.
Carta
It's
2.
got his logo on it too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not showing, but yeah.
It's pretty sick. Pretty snazzy.
So what are you consuming with it?
So some of the actually a bunch of the guys over at Crafting got together and got it for me for my birthday.
How wonderful. Great guys, man.
Hell yeah.
That and
And that's
that
what
and a hot knife.
that community led to us to fucking you specifically. Which is why we wanted to have you on and give you a chance to fucking tell us your goddamn story, man. You're such an interesting guy and you've got so much fucking experience and such a love for hash. What makes a good hash specifically? How do you know it's a quality hash versus, I think you told me one time you said the fucking word tourist hash is what the fuck I got sitting on my desktop right here. You called it tourist hash. Talk to me about the difference between tourist hash and that thing you just unwrapped from that that wax paper.
The kind of hash that your mentor made.
Well, I didn't say that what you have on your table is tourist hash.
He wouldn't say such nice things about your stuff.
Well, he did. He described it as tourist hash. As we were talking about it, I told him and described it. He was like, yeah, it sounds like tourist hash. I don't know. It's in a fucking one of the fucking...
Oh, not today.
Not today specifically, no.
Oh, we'll
we
see.
have not talked about it today.
You got a better memory than I do.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't smoke all the hash.
Fuck that. No. I reject your reality, sir, and I'm going to substitute my own. I should smoke also the hash.
I mean, I think everybody should. I think everybody should switch over to hash. Yeah. It's a much more healthier way of consuming cannabis.
So tell us about the difference then. What specifically is a tourist hash versus a good quality fucking made hash?
Well, I mean, there's many different layers when it comes to hash. I use the term tourist hash mostly to describe like the type of hash that honestly that I fell in love with when I first went overseas. Most
and you were, when we were talking, it wasn't a negative.
Tourist hash?
You weren't insulting it by any means. No, you were saying it was specifically a type of hash. You were saying it was
not at all, not at all, not at all. It's just not as clean per se, they're the heads might not be the ripest. It might have a little bit of plant material in it. It might have some of the trichome stalks in it. That's and then most of the time it's just pressed into like a coin form or a brick form or something like that. That's all. It's not a negative. I don't use it as a negative term. It's it's just something different.
Just a totally different.
I mean, and that's honestly what made me fall in love with hash. I mean, it's
not like your local brewery fucking IPA. It's like your fucking Bud Light of hash.
It's
generic. There's nothing wrong with fucking sipping Bud Light on a regular goddamn basis.
Stuff that was made for transport and selling to other people.
Got it.
Say if you want to go traditional, think traditional.
So now, in that beautiful voice of yours, I want to hear you describe the most beautiful, the most aromatic, the most terpene, the most head experience you've ever experienced. What's the best hash experience you've ever had? Describe that. Describe the best piece of hash. As a hash head, describe that so that we get a difference between like, all right, you've had hash or have you fucking had hash?
I don't know how I could describe, the best hash I've ever had. I've had so many wonderful experiences on so many different hashes that I'm not sure.
So what? Okay, so then what makes a good hash then? If you're having good experiences from all these different hashes, so then what makes a good hash? How do you recognize that? Okay, this was a good hash. If you're getting good experiences on multiple occasions, what makes that a good hash to have that experience?
Well, I mean, if you want, if you want to go just experience wise, the effects you get from it. But if you want to go like quality
Quality
or
wise,
something
let's
like
talk
that,
quality.
you can easily do a heat test to it. Hold a lighter by it and see how close the lighter has to get to it before it starts bubbling. And that can show you a quality thing, but as far as experience goes,
Oh,
I
so
mean,
talk about
that's
that
not
then.
gonna.
So how does that? How do you tell one way or the other by that experiment? Does it as you get closer, it should bubble the farther away you are, or not?
Yeah, the further away you are before it starts bubbling, yeah, I mean that tells you that it's a good quality, clean product.
So it's cleaner that way because there's less green material. Because the green material is gonna prevent those heads from melting,
Well, I mean,
or foreign material specifically, I guess you could say.
it's going to burn as well. It's gonna
Okay.
ash up.
Now I would say there's another thing too. When you hold your fucking huge balls of hash up, you can tear it apart with your fingers. Now, the shit I have on my desk that we get like from the fucking head shop from the old man at the smoke shop that you call fucking tourist hash, we could roll dice with this motherfucker. Like yours seems like fucking Play-Doh.
I think, I mean, it that has to do with um the ripeness of the heads. Like that ball is only the first couple sips of the plant, so it's only the ripest of the heads, and these are really big oil filled heads, and they're sticky heads as opposed to sandy heads. So if you have a plant that has smaller heads and they're sandy, and say they're not completely saturated with oil, then you'll get a harder end product.
The more saturated with oil they are.
Yeah, and bigger, and like I said, if they're sticky heads as opposed to sandy heads, like if it's a more thin leaf leaning plant, they have sticky heads as opposed to fat leaf leaning plants are more sandy type heads because they're more desert type plants, so they can't be sticky or else they'd just be covered with dust.
Right. Oh no shit, dude. That's fucking incredible. I never thought of it that different way. So your wide leaf varieties are coming from a more sandy atmosphere because they have to. They need the plant material to fucking maintain some sort of moisture. And then their heads are not as sticky as you would like a thinner leaf variety because the sand blowing around you and shit, you wouldn't want it fucking. No shit, man.
Yeah, it's a drier environment.
Yeah. Oh shit, I never would have even thought. Like I to some extent I understood like the plant, but not the heads as much. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
morphology of the
if
plant is pretty trippy, related to like where it evolved, essentially, right? Like
yeah,
narrow
totally.
leaf, it's especially in your growing style. Like if you have narrow leaf in your tent, you can pump the fucking temperature and humidity up if you know.
Yeah, it's a fucking completely dude, that's fucking crazy. Yeah.
I mean, the heads, they serve a purpose on the plant. They're a secondary metabolite of the plant. They serve a purpose, and if they're covered in sand, they can't serve they can't serve any of their purposes.
That's crazy. Dude, animals are so fucking similar. I was watching this fucking I hate to fucking stray, but it makes so much sense. Animals do the same thing. Think about cats. Big cats have like developed themselves differently throughout the fucking world based on their conditions. And fucking cannabis has done the same fucking thing, man. That's crazy. That's man, fucking nature is so much better than humans are. It's crazy.
You know, that localized morphology is part of what Darwin led to him writing his theory of evolution, was the different bird species on the different islands had adapted to eat what was local, so their bills had changed suddenly. If I remember correctly, that could be all wrong. Please double check me. Always consider the source, but I believe it played a part in his theory. The Galapagos, I think it was, I don't want to say pigeon because that's wrong, but one of the type of birds. So it's really like and they have like, islands have island dwarfism, that because the habitat can only support a certain sized individual. Those individuals on islands tend to be smaller. There's whole kinds of crazy shit. So the plants are the exact same, right? So you get cannabis in different regions. And I'm sure, Badger, do you have like a specific region of plant that you've personally worked with that you prefer?
Honestly, I'm a equal plant
You're
opportunist.
equal opportunist. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. There's no bigotry here on YAG. We're open to everything.
I don't
I like them skinny bitches and them fat bitches. Don't get it fucking twisted, motherfucker.
Exactly. I like them. I like them 22 weekers and them freaking 8 weekers. I don't care.
Jesus Christ. Hell yeah.
Oh man.
So other than cannabis, do you do any other fucking gardening?
I mean, I have vegetables outside and occasionally mushrooms going.
So what vegetables outside do you grow outside? Oh, that was the weirdest fucking way to ask that question.
And what vegetables outside do you grow inside?
Don't you dare! Don't you dare! I acknowledged it myself. You don't get to fucking take it from me.
Those inside vegetables that you grow outdoors, how are they inside?
I did start my Cherokee tomatoes indoors this year.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Do you grow anything to can, or do you do pickles like Johnny, or are you more
yes.
Just god damn it. You two talks amongst yourself.
Talk to me about your pickles, sir.
always, yes. Always, if there's enough cucumbers, they'll get pickled, either, canned pickled or just, quick refrigerator pickles, depending on how big the harvest is.
Have you ever done a natural ferment, like without the refrigeration, just a natural ferment? Like burp the jar kind of deal?
Yeah.
Dude, those are my favorite. Fuck the refrigerator. 86 the refrigerator, man. I love. Dude, they get
the refrigerator ones, if you only have a really small harvest, you can eat them, right away, as opposed to, the other ones in the cupboard.
So on a sidetrack, I hate to sidetrack, but a real sidetrack.
No, get off pickle talk.
I am not gonna.
Green beans?
So the
pickled green beans.
Oh, dilly beans, they're those are tits. I love dilly beans. My mom has a fucking crazy recipe that I think I can improve upon, because I think she used a lot of fucking like artificial shit that we could probably amp up and improve. But dilly beans are on the list of fucking maybe next year. My green beans this year were more of an accident. It was more of the daughter came home with some green bean plants that she was so excited about because they learned how to do it in school, that I said, you want to see something fucking cool? Send pictures of this to your fucking friends at school.
You had to one up a bunch of
elementary school kids. Yes, I did. Don't judge me. Fuck yeah. And I put them shits in earth boxes, or not the earth boxes, the fucking the cheap ones from Lowe's or whatever.
I want a YAG t-shirt that has our logo, and underneath it says "Fuck them kids, Johnny Apple." Fuck them kids. You want to see a bean, motherfuckers?
I'll show you it was for real though. It was that somewhat. I'm not gonna lie. Fuck them kids, man. I wanted to show her like we know what we're doing, and like I get her excited about it, so that way she could
that's
be
the
like,
important part.
Exactly, like make her happy. And I was like, fuck them other kids with her fucking worried about fucking
world.
Tetris or whatever the fuck these kids plays nowadays. Tetris. I don't know. Get off the lawn.
Stop playing multiplayer Tetris, you freaks.
No, but seriously. So then we put them in the earth box, and they did, but it was only like 4 plants, and
Was
I
it a
don't know.
bush bean that
They're
like
bush
when you
beans. You only
harvested
get a
once and you're
fucking
done?
5
Yeah.
or 10 beans, and they would
Yeah.
keep going. And but it was fun for her, but it wasn't like cool. I got enough to harvest with. But for sure, if I had green beans, bingo. But in the meantime, I've been going, okay, so I don't get broccoli. Broccoli fucking sprouts, and then you've only got so much, and then it's like, oh, that was cool. We get like fucking enough for 15 dinners off of the amount of space I've dedicated to broccoli. But then I didn't realize like succession planning in your outdoor garden is also a fucking thing. I've never fucking it like nobody ever talks about it around here. It was something I just like was like thinking about like there's got to be something else I can do. And succession, like we fucking hauled out our broccoli, so new broccoli's fucking going up. The cucumbers I had planted, those Japanese things, and this is where I was going with that. It's like they're not the best pickles. They're not the best pickling cucumbers. They're like long and skinny, and they're great for a salad or a fucking burger, like really quick. Like they're crunchy and they're long and skinny, but I want my
What about a
fucking
relish?
pickling cucumbers. I want my pickling cucumbers.
What about a
So
relish? How would they do in a relish?
they would probably do okay. Now, that would mean I have to designate the amount of time to this plant that's already fucking getting sun bleats and eaten by bugs and designate time to try and keep it surviving or till it in, mind it like chop and fucking drop it. I don't till, but like chop the vines down, put it in the soil, put a little fucking compost on top and put some new pickling cucumbers starters on top of that I start indoors. So that by the time that fucking shit is done breaking down, the fucking ones I've already started indoors will go out, and then my dill will have another chance to give me some more dill. So succession plan in the same way outdoors, or you do indoors with like autoflowers, you could do outdoors too. I just am like, it's people don't talk about it, man. You go to
You
the
don't
fucking
think
garden store and they give you one chance to fucking, they give you lettuce. And then you go there again, and there's no more lettuce. They don't say, like, you could fucking plant it again 20 days from now. Chop your fucking lettuce 20 days from now. You've got new fucking lettuce getting ready to grow. It's succession planning. It's fucking incredible, man. I don't know why I side tangent. Oh, because you were talking about your pickles. And do you have your own dill?
No, I don't.
That's
I
what
don't grow.
wanted me
I
to
I
fucking.
I I
Don't.
buy the dill.
I have tried, and everybody said dill is such a fucking weed, the same like as cannabis. Once you start it, it's like a mint. You can't get. I've tried and tried and tried to get dill to start. So we just were at the farmer's market today to get more dill, and that's what made me want to like get even like start cucumber pickles. Maybe I'll get some fucking dill with a good fucking late end harvest.
Can I tell you how much I despise pickles and how much I love pickle talk? This has been the greatest, what feels like half hour of my life. No, I'm just kidding. But that is good news, right? You can succession plant your pickles and do.
But it's not just that. So brassica is also another one. So your broccolis, your cabbage, your fucking Brussels sprouts. It's time now. They're fucking semi-frost hardy. So if you're planting them, especially in like Northeast, and if you're getting a winter, July is the time to start thinking about those shits. That's like you can have another planting.
Do you grow to make your own jardinières as well?
Which jardinières?
Whatever
No, I think
jardiniere
that's a
you eat over
Chicago
there.
thing, isn't it?
I don't.
Any
I
Feng
did not.
Shui
jardiniere
thing?
over there?
I don't honestly. I've never heard the term jardiniere before.
It's that like pepper relish thing, right? It's very
It's
much
like
a Midwest
it's
thing.
it's
Italian.
it's supposedly Italian. It's normally like pickled what is it? Freaking cauliflower, carrots, some peppers, some other different stuff. Some red pepper
My
flakes.
aunt does like a Hungarian version of that. I do not, only because listen, my understanding of gardening has really only truly been boosted by my understanding of cannabis growing. So it's not like I don't have anybody around me passing down fucking information. This is information I'm trying to gather throughout the years. So I'm like, my favorite thing in the world is to fucking eat a pickle. So if I can grow a cucumber, that's kind of where my gardening started from, was like, okay, I love a fucking tomato sandwich. I love to make pickles. And now I'm to the point where it's like, I've got some fucking space. I want to grow some fucking wheat. I want to grow corn. My fucking black raspberries might not be enough. I want to have fucking all
You're
the,
branching out now. It's super cool.
it's exactly, but it was literally started from the fucking love from cannabis, man. And
Yeah, I think that's a
crazy
beautiful
how
thing,
they
man.
fucking
Demonized it.
exactly. And it's
Yeah.
literally what brought me fucking back, or helped me with my passion for fucking gardening and understanding for it.
Yeah, it's a wonderful hobby. And I appreciate Badger's knowledge. If you guys don't know, and I'm sure most of you do, but he's always around the Discord dropping super intelligent things, making up for all the stupid things that Johnny and I say. So quite frankly, at this point, I think he's just doing it as an act of charity. I know originally it was judge ordered, but I'm pretty sure you've done your hours by now, so it's got to just be pure charity at this point.
I mean, at first it was just fun and games.
He liked to pick on the fucking idiots.
We just wanted to pick on the losers. No, but to make a super serious podcast even more serious, and to make you question even more so why you agreed to do this, we have a set of ridiculous questions that Johnny likes to ask. And I think now is a good enough time, Johnny.
What's the first seed you ever planted, and why was it an apple seed?
The first seed I ever planted?
Yep. And why was it an apple seed?
Who knows? It might have been. I don't even remember that. I would have had to have been a kid, and I don't remember any of that stuff.
Think hard. Come on. Was it a piece of grass? Was it a lima bean? Was it an apple seed?
I have no idea.
All right, we'll call it a cannabis seed.
Probably
that's probably
tomatoes.
the first. What's the first seed you remember then?
Yeah.
What's the first intentional seed you've ever planted?
Oh, that was definitely cannabis that I remember.
Okay. All right, we'll give you cannabis. All right. What's your favorite pie, and why is it apple pie?
Ooh, my favorite pie would have to be a pot pie, because I don't eat sweets anymore.
Ooh, chicken, beef.
I don't care.
Just a fucking pot pie.
Just something savory.
Fucking
chicken pot pie.
Now, where are you getting the crust from?
The crust?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
How flaky are we going? Do we want more butter? Are we talking like pounds and pounds of like a buttery, flaky crust, or do you want more of a doughy crust? Like more of a floury crust?
What do you mean?
I'd say more.
There's
buttery,
a difference. Like there's a buttery, flaky.
I'd say more buttery
because
then you got a little bit of
really
crisp
floury,
on the top.
doughy fucking crust that they use for pot pie.
I say buttery because then you get the crisp on the top.
Yeah. So there's one more specific question that the world has to know about Badger. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite fruit, and why is it apple?
My favorite fruit. I mean, a Granny Smith is pretty good.
No, come on now. Right. That is ridiculous. Nobody thinks that.
He even went with the green one. God damn, that's beautiful.
Now, how much did he pay you to say that? Because it does come from the general fund, and I think I'm entitled to know.
There was no compensation in this episode other than Ella Bree Head Genesis. This episode was sponsored by Ella Bree Head Genesis.
Okay, Granny Smith, really
beautiful. I mean, that was beautiful, very beautifully fucking put. Now,
Johnny's in heaven.
outside of the original YAG questions, we like to get to know a person by their pizza. When you walk into a pizza joint for the first time you've ever been to this pizza shop, and you're just there for a slice as you're traveling through, do you get a slice of pepperoni or a slice of cheese to get to know the pizza shop?
That depends on what type of pizza shop I'm in. Honestly.
Okay, I'm
It's
going
the
to need
first time.
some
It's just a corner
elaboration.
shop. Do you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. What's your?
if I'm in like a nice, like brick oven type pizza shop, cooking it, 1,000 degrees or something like that, then yeah, we're just going cheese.
Well, that's a Neapolitan. I would,
Like margarita,
or a margarita, exactly, a
But
margarita. But that's
but
basil.
if
That's the
we're
cheating. I'm talking to a fucking cheesy ass New York style.
You're
or
walking
just
into like a corner. Yeah.
American. I'm
if
sorry,
I'm
not New
going
York style. An
if I'm
American fucking pizza shop, like your
Kind of place that sells
local
it by the slice.
local style pizza shop. If you're
Yeah.
walking in, not a fancy joint, because I agree. If you're going into a fucking brick oven place, you should get a margarita.
Well, if
Yummy.
this game was
The whole reason
hypotheticals,
I grow
Chuck would have gotten
basil is the
fucking pesto
margarita
pizza.
if I'm walking into a more like a Detroit style pizza place, something like
Mhm.
that, I'm just getting cheese. But if I'm going with any other type of pizza, I'm getting pepperoni, especially if I'm at a New York place, because I'm hoping it's got that good pepperoni that cups and fills with juice or oil,
Oh, the
grease,
Yeah.
thicker
whatever.
slices.
The grease, yeah. The big old cupped ones that get all greasy when you, yeah. See,
Yeah.
Badger's a man of class.
So you're saying to get to know a pizza shop, you're just going cheese to kind of get to know it. Now, if you're fucking going for an
No. That's
intentional
No,
a very
that's not what I
slice,
kind.
said.
That's a very
he said he
kind
would walk
read of
in
what
for
he
a pizza
said.
shop.
It's not
That's
what I
not what
said.
he said. You got a kind read on that one. So if essentially what Badger said was I was right.
He did say, I'm walking in, I'm getting
That's
cheese.
not what he said. He said a Detroit style,
Detroit style.
which is specific and not a part of the question necessarily, because most of the time said this, you've very much specified a New York slice. So this
Well,
time,
then,
for
yeah.
whatever reason, you've
It is
declined
tough.
to
Well,
clarify.
because most times I ask it, it's from an East Coaster. Every time I ask it, it's from an East Coaster. Do we even have any
which is fine.
fucking West Coasters?
No,
How
I
do
don't
I
have any
describe a
West Coast friends.
California slice to a West Coast?
We don't. California people don't talk to me. They're ashamed of me.
I think
not
And the
I
other
think
cool enough.
coast doesn't matter. They
crust is
have
made
this,
with
like they have the look. I'm sorry,
cauliflower.
Badger, but in your neck of the woods, you guys have a weird idea of what pizza actually is.
Do we?
Yeah, it's it's this disproportionate. I
Pie?
don't. There, okay. How describe? Wait,
No.
what's your
Okay,
local
so
pie like? I think maybe I'm thinking of like Chicago, maybe.
Chicago's the deep dish, and then
Yeah.
Detroit isn't it
So what's a
tavern style or
Detroit
whatever?
style?
Detroit's
Yeah, what's a
cooked it.
Detroit style?
It's cooked in a square, metal dish, metal pan. Usually like some sort
How
of
do you
like
get pie
focaccia,
from a square? That's I can't.
some sort of like focaccia based dough. Um, I don't know. It's fucking delicious. Sauce
That's the
on
kind of
top of the
attitude we
cheese.
like.
I
Sauce on top of the cheese.
listen.
Yeah,
All
and
pizza. Can we just
and
all get on the same page for a second?
because it's in a pan, you get all the extra wonderful burnt crispy cheese around the crust and around the outside, especially the corners. Come
No,
on.
man, I don't know if I can do sauce on top of the cheese. I'm a simple man. It goes bread, sauce, cheese.
Can
Do the
I hate to be the
toppings
one to
do
offer
the
this,
toppings go
but
on top of the cheese or below the cheese? That's the question.
Both. You get extra cheese. Shits on everything. But I mean, I think if you only get an option, I think toppings go on after. But I think that's just generally the way I've been used to it.
Has anyone ever had a bad pizza? Like, oh, I think
No, man,
Although
I think
maybe
pizza
not
is good
created
generally.
equal, I think all pizza is fucking great. I could survive probably on pizza. Now, I
Well,
would prefer
not
to
long.
survive on it New York style.
I don't know how
I
great
don't
of
know.
your survival it would be entirely.
Not like the dude who did it on the fucking 10-day trial for McDonald's. I'd probably last longer than a McDonald's fucking trial,
Yeah,
but
it turns out alcoholism is really bad for you, and you can't hide it and pretend it was
shit.
shitty fucking burgers. Well, I mean, don't speak ill of the dead, but holy shit, don't lie to people.
All right, so beyond
Yeah,
pizza,
so that we gotta move on.
sandwiches. What is your fucking go-to sandwich? Is it 2 slices of lettuce on top? What is your assembly of food sandwich style? What's your go-to?
At home
Anywhere.
or
No,
Anywhere
he
in
just
your world. What's your
complicated it.
favorite
Wait,
sandwich?
wait
What's
a
your
minute.
favorite sandwich in the world? What's your go-to sandwich? What's your favorite fucking
shoot.
sandwich?
You're ordering a sandwich. It can be any sandwich. What's the order?
Mhm.
Probably pastrami.
That's an excellent choice.
Describe it. I mean, but
Yeah, you gotta
would,
give us
I
some
could eat a
detail.
loaf of pastrami myself. But describe your pastrami sandwich.
I
On
also
rye.
get my pastrami in that shape.
Pastrami on rye, mustard,
Yeah, mustard's important.
Definitely
whole
mustard.
grain, like a whole grain mustard, or stone
Oh,
ground.
even
I think they call
better.
it
Even
stone
better.
ground.
Yeah, a brown mustard, even better.
Now, are we putting sauerkraut on this motherfucker?
No.
There you
No
go.
sauerkraut.
Solid
All
choice.
right. Beautiful. Lettuce,
Not
onions.
needed.
So
Not needed.
pastrami, rye, and
Unneeded.
mustard.
That's about it. That's all you need.
Beautiful.
No
That- I-
Swiss? Are you putting? Did I miss
Pickles.
Swiss?
Oh yeah. Definitely some cheese. But
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
maybe
What
some
kind of
pickles on the
cheese?
side or something.
Ooh, pickles on the side, even. All right.
God, so many
Simple.
fucking pickles.
What's the? There's no other. We haven't added a regular question. That's it, haven't it?
That's it. Having it. What? What are you smoking? Yeah,
I don't fucking even know anymore.
I believe so, my friend. I believe that was the last of the questions.
I'm smoking something called French toast that my neighbor across the street gave me.
You liking it?
I don't know. It's flour.
The details. The details. I mean, really, have you ever thought about being a poet? I think you've missed your calling, or at least it's like a journalist and writing great detail.
French toast?
They were having some big party over there, and all the party was in the back of the house, and the guys are in the front of the house, doing their smoking and all that. So right before we started here, I walked over there with a ball of hash. I was like, here, take those
There you
joints
go.
to another level. And he's like, here, and he gave me this stuff. Like, all right.
Right on. Decent,
Wow,
is it?
wonderful, man.
Yeah, sure. It's flour.
I want that. Can you give us a review? Can you give Yag a review that we can put somewhere with that kind of flowery language that you use to describe those terms? I want it on every ship. Just Badger saying, "Yeah, it's a podcast."
Yeah, it's a podcast.
There you go.
Oh,
I'm
Jesus.
putting that on everything. I guess I've got a pretty easy sermon this time because we have Badger, who is a great help around the Discord when it comes to hash, but always seek to learn more from people that have the knowledge you want, right? Like if somebody is super interested in a single subject like Badger is with hash, or knows a lot more than you do, it's always great to just go to the source and ask around, man. It's there's nothing better than learning from someone who really, really, really enjoys it. Don't be a dick, mind your own business, and go with Frog. Now, Badger, thank you for joining us. Do
Dude,
you
thank you
have
so much.
anything you want to plug?
Nope.
Well, that was so very
Very fucking
unexpected.
I goddamn love it.
The
Johnny,
community, I guess. The community.
there you go.
ain't got shit.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm going to plug. I ain't got shit either, but you took it. Come see. Oh no, shit. Fuck you. I forgot. We're gonna be on Cultivation Conversation fucking Tuesday, dumbass.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the plug. We
There
are
you go.
gonna make a guest appearance on another podcast that's way more popular than us. You probably, if you hear us, you probably already heard of them. I'm sure.
Now, I
of it.
want to point out right now, we have a very bad record. The last podcast that had both of us on, they lost their will to podcast.
He's like, fuck this. I'm out.
This
YouTube
is
canceled
not,
him.
yeah,
It's like
this is not
no.
looking good.
Yeah.
So we shall see the outcome. Also, if you're in California, Albrije is having his pop-up drop September 21st. Come hang out with me, and Grateful's chilling at my place. So everybody but Johnny is coming because they love me, and Johnny don't.
Well, listen,
No, just kidding.
I'm having a fucking barbecue on the fucking 13th of fucking this month. So anybody in the fucking area, fucking hit me up, man. Come fucking eat some sandwiches, because that's what I'm doing. Making a bunch of fucking sandwiches and walking people around my garden, because I'm turning 40 and my garden and my fucking family is what I'm most proud of, man. So I just want to
There
fucking
you
show it
go.
off to people. So come fucking celebrate it with me. Hit me up.
Also, I'm sure you're super proud of Yag, right? No mentions. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I am half of Yeg.
It should not be. That's right. I was gonna say, but it shouldn't be in the same breath as your family.
As 40.
But
Jesus Christ,
as
let's not
40,
make
I
Yag that
know.
goddamn old.
Ever. Thank you to everyone for the well wishes this past week.
And
Super
don't be a
kind.
dick. Mind your own business and go with Apple.
Now, fuck off.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you.
Peace.